Hello and welcome to another episode of Rugby Through the Leagues podcast. This week, as you can see, we're actually for the first time in person with one of our guests, Mario Pichardie. Really appreciate your time, mate, and thanks for inviting me down to the Alicante and the Spain training camp before the America tour.
No, thanks very much for you to come. I think it's very good you can come here and give visibility to Spanish rugby.
And obviously, 30 odd degrees today, mate.
Yeah.
So we try to sneak outside, but if you hear any planes flying over, it's probably everyone trying to get a photo of Mario. And seeing as he's now off to France, you got a new club, mate?
Yeah, very excited. He's a calling in National One.
Yeah.
So he used to be a historic club, and they went down a couple of years ago due to financial reason, and now they're just trying to rebuild that team to try and promote back to Pro D2. So I'm quite excited to go there to the new venture into French soil.
You're now probably one of quite a few Spanish players that are playing over in France that have all sort of dotted across the border. And there's a lot of other players within Rugby Europe as well that have all sort of dotted across there. What's the big draw to playing in France? Is it because they're sort of selling a bit of a dream to you of how these clubs want to go, or is it just the natural progression you feel at the minute? I
think so. I played this year in Spain.
Yeah.
And I felt I was already at the ceiling. There's nothing more to where I am. And I'm still quite young. I see myself as quite young still.
Yeah.
I'm just made 24.
I'm 35, mate. So, God, I'm feeling it now. Yeah.
So I think going to France economically is the strongest league in the world. It doesn't matter if you go down the leagues, still very good financially, so you can feel that you're a professional player. And also, I play for the dream that I want to play Pro D2. I think I've got the level and the quality to be a Pro D2. It's just a time of luck because I'm not GIF. It's a time of luck if a club want to pick me up.
Yeah, because obviously the Pro D2 at the minute is. I watched the playoffs recently and the access match. It's just a phenomenal standard for the players that are being drawn across there. Obviously, Courtney Laws, Breve struggling to even get into the final after getting caught out by Montauban, and then obviously Grenoble are now going to still be down. So obviously there's a few players that have been signed on the pretense that they were going into the top 14, and so it's going to be a really competitive league. So because you're joining a club that's basically Div 3 over there, aren't you? So they've managed to sign a good few players as well. It looks like they've got a big project going.
Yeah, so they assigned 18 players for my club this year.
Wow.
So the process is trying to get into the top 4 to play that.
They finished 9th this year.
They finished 9th.
Yeah.
So they kick out 16 players, something like that. Just signed 18 new. And the objective is to try to promote it in the next 2 years. If we can make it next year, even better. But I'm quite excited. I think it's a good project, and especially I think it's going to improve massively my physicality. I think if I go there, I felt more ready when we face in Tonga and Fiji in November.
Yeah.
I think there I will feel myself more confident to try to go and give a good performance against those type of countries.
Because there's rumours England are going to be potentially playing England Day. Against Spain as well in November. Have you sort of heard any more about that? Is that happening? Is it just not announced?
I'm not sure. But in a personal way, I would love to, because I've got plenty of friends that from my ACAD days in England that they are in the England setup, and I would love to manage to play games against them with people that I lived since I was 17 years old.
For those that don't know as well, you were at Wasps before they weren't Wasps and stuff.
Exactly.
Because obviously that was your first big contract, that you become part of their, what was it, their training academies, and then that all kind of just fell apart. That must have been thought, shit, what am I going to do now?
So I always I've been taught at home.
Yeah.
You're not gonna become millionaire from rugby.
Yeah.
So you always have to do something on the side.
Yeah.
So I was lucky enough. I did my levels in England, pick up at Wasps, and then I took the decision to do international business at Loughborough University.
Nice.
So when everything went down, I was lucky enough. I still have something in England to work on. So I set myself to trying to finish my degree and then see where the road goes.
Yeah.
But it got to a point I was quite fed up of English professional rugby. I think English setup is not doing a good job with the youngsters.
No.
If you speak to anyone that is from the age of 18 to 22, they hate it because they train every day with the first team. Then they have to drive an hour away to go alone
Yeah.
Then you have to be back the next day with Leicester or Northampton, something like that.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, like when you are what setup, the only thing you want to do is play for Wasps with a Wasps badge.
Yeah.
Like they do in Toulouse. My brother that plays week in, week out with Toulouse under 23.
Yeah.
I think that brings something that you feel part of the club.
Yeah.
You feel like you're just like a bag they used you for training.
Cannon fodder.
Exactly.
So you obviously also went on loan. You went to Nottingham and Cov?
I went Coventry, Rams, then Loughborough.
Yeah.
And then Stockbridge for a bit.
Okay.
But yeah, I played 2 games in Chamworth when the year that Sirens went down.
Yeah.
It was fun, but I think it's very physical, that league, when I was too young there.
You didn't do too bad at Loughborough, though, did you?
No, we did very well. My few years there, I think they were one of the golden years of Loughborough. Finished with a league title and a cup title, so pretty happy.
Pretty solid. And then obviously you finished uni and then come back to play for Alcobendas. So was that your team originally as you grew up? Division D honour. Yeah. It's kind of a weird patch, isn't it? They're trying to sign players and bring it, like, obviously we're not too far from Lavia now at the minute here. They're trying to sign good players around. But there's probably must be a ceiling within that league of players that want to stay at the minute.
I think the level is not there. I used to be a couple of years ago. I think it's an investment from the Spanish Federation.
Yeah,
they're trying to, because back in the day, clubs will sign like New Zealand players, Fijian players.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, you will not develop there was a massive gap between players that were in France and players from Spain, because they didn't have not much game time or something like that.
Yeah.
So Spain now put like a lot of restriction to trying to make teams develop a Spanish player.
Yeah.
So I feel like the level is not as high as it used to be, but the Spanish player level is increasing.
Which is the whole point as well. Because I was speaking to Adam McBurney, he was on the pod the other day, and he's moved from Belfast, he was at Ulster and stuff like that, and he's gone over to Romania. And Romania have got a similar setup where they have to have a certain amount of Romanian-made players to develop as well. Spain have obviously tried to incorporate that, but below that Division D honour, Division on D honour B is
it's a massive
hard.
gap still.
It's a massive gap, isn't it?
I think everything is a process.
Yeah.
And now Spain is trying to do like 30 centralized contracted players.
Okay, yeah.
So the idea is, what I have from the federation is hopefully get in the next 3 to 4 years, be like the Black Lions, where they managed to play the APRC, PCR.
So that's going to be linked back to the Iberians.
Exactly.
Yeah, nice,
so basically it's 30 contracted players that, like, you do your Iberians training, then you always have to be on camp with Spain.
Yeah.
So you secure like 30 players. They're like full time in Spain, and the level are going to increase.
Nice.
So when all the French players come back, the Spanish player is going to be higher. Yeah. Because we can't depend on our Joel Merkel or John Zabala to win a game in Australia. I think the whole team has to invest and sacrifice a lot of things. Yeah. If you wanna like win games, and who knows, hopefully get into, I don't know if we do, is it bet 16 in this World Cup or? Oh. So I'm not sure, because World Rugby has not been very clear.
No, we're still waiting on the draw in it and stuff like that as well, because we've still got the repechage, you've got all of the other bits to figure out how that's going to pan out. But I think I read earlier there's based on the world rankings, you guys are potentially going to be in a group with Italy and France and stuff like that as well. So that'll be
massive.
Because off the back of the Rugby Europe Championships, you guys were in with Australia and South Africa. So it's all changing at the minute. So it's
that's our goal for this next 5 games we got. So we know if we finish from the, I think it's 15th to 18th or 14th to 18th, something like that, we enter like in an easier pool. Yeah, that means we give ourselves our best chance to win a couple of games in the World Cup. But it's just, we just need to give a good performance. We need to win United States, massive for us to try to win those extra points on the ranking.
Well, obviously they could be at a prime opportunity for you guys to take them on as well, because they've got to get prepared for the Pacific Nations Cup as well, to still throw himself in the ring for the World Cup. So there's a chance they might still not make it. So what's the vibe around the camp at the minute as well, ahead of the Canada and the USA games? Is it?
It's massive. I think pressure. We have a pressure now, as I said before. Like, we want to be in the 16th ranking, and we want to stay there. Even if we win United States, maybe go on top of them.
Yeah.
But we have a lot of things to improve. It's worth nothing if you go to a World Cup and then you finish on the 20th on the world ranking, and you have to play New Zealand, South Africa, things like that. Do you want to you gotta give your best shot to give that image of trying to give Spain the right image to give us respect. I think in Spanish start being like a good rugby nation, but for that we need to show at the pitch.
Obviously, off the back of the Georgia defeat at the end of the Rugby Europe Championships as well, it's been a little while since that happened as well. Have you guys? You've had a camper since, or is it?
No, it's just been the first camp back. Since it.
How's the debrief been of that? Is it right? We've actually seen we've done this, and this. These players are still fit, are available. This is how we're going to go and play. Or
I think the first thing was like, speaking to our players, is like we need to give more, because I think rugby-wise, Georgia, they have Dimitri Ninasbili, which I think was on top of everyone. But part of that, I think, like in terms of phases, something like there wasn't like a line break or I felt dominated. They're just very strong at the maul and the scrum, and as a forward and as a pack, we need to give a step forward, prepare ourselves more physically, and I think it's there where we can like show to the distance between them. Yeah, we don't have anything to give away. No. So we have so much things to keep, especially when they're not talented things. Hits, scrum, maul. I think we managed to show that in the next couple of years. I think Georgia could have like a tough time against us.
Yeah, it obviously I was there for the game in Madrid as well, and
we wasn't our best.
But at least you were up for a scrap. Everyone was up for the scrap, weren't they? So, but again, it was just another step closer to what Georgia probably were 8 years ago. Yeah. And now where they are, they're like Portugal and Romania have probably dropped off, and you guys are now sort of trying to push through again. Yeah. And as you said, the development of the players within Spain is starting to kick in. But how much do you think an impact of players that are playing in France has raised the level of the national side as well?
So I'm going to tell you something. Like back in the days, we used to have a lot of French players. Yeah. I used to create like a division on the squad. Oh, okay. So you always have a French player on the Spanish speakers. Yeah. You can see you can play good, but people will come here like you didn't feel like very comfortable because you didn't get along with it. Yeah. So I think Paulo, what he's trying to do is trying to select the right pieces as well that can link it with the team, with the group. I think the best thing we have here is how well we get along with everyone. Yeah. I think if you start
family.
Exactly. I'm 10 days in here, and for me this is like holidays. Like I'm doing what I love, and I'm laughing all the time with my mates.
It's a weird holiday, mate. Though. Yeah, exactly. Running around in 30-odd degree heat, but
nosy holiday. but it is. So I think if we get players that be playing on a high level, like we have Joel. Every time John Thavala comes in, the stands grows up. Yeah. Like Joel Merkel, everyone feels respected to him, and it's just like another physicality. Trainings improves massively because you have your If I'm a back row and there's a French back row that just come by, I have to bring my level up to show Paulo I'm still better 7 than him. Yeah. So everything goes up. It's massively, but also I think some people have to be smart selecting, like not bringing the whole.
Putting round pegs in round holes rather than trying to force players in. Exactly. Obviously, we caught up at the start of the Rugby Europe Championship as well, and you just come off the back of quite a lengthy injury as well, hadn't you? So you were named the youngest ever captain for Spain. Is that correct? Before, then you come off quite a large injury, and you've obviously having to work back towards it. Are you back at where you were, or you still think you're a few games off? Or?
Physically, I think I'm in terms of running, strength and everything, I think I'm on the toppest level I've ever been. Yeah. But I still think I need to show a lot of things on the pitch. I think I haven't had like a dominant game this year in the rec to try to earn my stripes as captain. So I think I just need to keep my mouth shut, work hard, And for me, the most important thing is to play well on the pitch.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie, for me, being captain is one of the massive honours.
Yeah.
I feel very Spanish, and I feel like there's nothing higher for me to be a captain of my country.
Yeah.
But at the same time, my objective is for the World Cup is be the starting 7 for Spain.
Yeah.
If after that comes being the captain, I will happily take it.
Yeah.
But my main goal is I want to be the starting 7 for Spain.
Pulling that shirt on at the World Cup.
Exactly. That was my dream at the moment.
Obviously, Spain have missed out on the last couple as well. I know we've sort of touched on it previously.
Yeah.
Has everyone made sure all the papaperwork's correct this time round?
Yeah, it's very hard. It's very hard to. If there's like a little doubt, he's not coming to camp.
No.
He's not even to training.
Because a few players have made themselves put their hands up in the news and the media and stuff, saying they want to be selected for Spain. Obviously, most of them in France and stuff, because they're probably not getting selected by others. Is that one of the reasons why some players might not be looked at, just in case it creates an opportunity that there is a doubt? Or is, again, as going back to, as you said, the right players for the right fit, for the right role?
Yeah, so at the end of the day, so all the French players can come. Most of the French players won't come here.
No.
They won't. They say like they won't come to 3 weeks training in summer. They won't come. So at the end of the day, you need to take care of your Spanish players. Yeah. Because they're the guys that are gonna, if they say anything, they're gonna be the first in line to fight for the shirt and fight for the team. So it's just, I don't know, it's dependent on the position. I don't know how it works for Pablo. But I think he's trying to look the best fit for the group. I think that's his priority that gave us understanding, to my understanding.
Perfect.
And that's the priority of it. But at the end of the day, if the Spanish players are not taking it serious, then there's no guarantee you're going to be here in a year's time. You just have to be working. And then it's just taking your opportunity every time you come with Spanish to try and improve and win yourself a second chance by being called to the next camp. Yeah.
So obviously, there is the rumbling as well, the 2035 World Cup in Spain. Yeah. How amazing would that be?
I think that will be my retirement.
I was going to say, you must be clinging...
I'm calling my retirement after United States. Yeah. But if we're making Spain, I'll probably give it a shot and I'm trying to do 3 World Cups. But that would be unreal. That would be massive. I think after that, Spain will take a massive step forward.
I think that's the catalyst it potentially needs as well.
It's just the way I feel Spain. Like, we've got women's going to World Cup this year. Yeah. Men's World Cup. Sevens men's. Yeah. They just finished second.
They're flying, aren't they?
Women's they're still. They're not still the series, but under 20s we're on the World Cup. Yeah. So everything is. We've been like slowly progressing, but everything is still like settling well. Yeah. I don't feel like Spain. Maybe I don't want to give shit to Portugal, but I feel like maybe Portugal have like a good race and then they went down. Yeah. I think Spain has been doing a good job the past few years. It's been like stone after stone after stone. And I think now, from outside, I feel like the project is quite stable, and we see things improving, condition for players improving year after year. And if that grows, if we manage to get into the 2031 World Cup, and then do the World Cup at home, I think a lot of money will come in. Yeah. And then a lot of professional sets will be start raising and develop over there.
Even the under-18s were part of the Six Nations Festival.
Another one.
What a performance that was. They've done phenomenal as well, didn't they? So Spain's rugby's in the right hands. It's, as you said, it's just we've got to get that catalyst for it to go to the next level.
There's snowball effect.
Exactly that, because as we know, it's probably 5th, 6th sport in Spain, realistically. Obviously, playing here and being a coach, and you see it firsthand from...
Amateur, he's very amateur.
Obviously, the Ayumientos, they favour the football because it's easy and stuff. And do you think the Federation have enough of a battle as well with the town halls to try and promote the game, on top of trying to also raise the level of the top leagues? It's a battle from both sides, isn't it? People want to play the game, but you don't always know where you can, and the town halls don't really want you to play. Exactly. And then the top of the game, they're trying to raise it, put them in the names for the 2035 World Cup. It's a two-way battle, and we're kind of stuck in the middle where...
Yeah, I think the problem in Spain, I don't know if there's many teams that owns a pitch. No. I think it's every time owned by the mayor, the town halls. Yeah. So I think there's a big problem because clubs don't have control of the facilities. Correct. Yeah. So I've actually from Alcobendas. I've been living there. I played there since 2007. Yeah. At Coburg, I still have the same changing rooms. I still have the same pub.
Yeah.
Same stands.
Yeah.
They just changed grass to 4G, but it's still the same.
Yeah.
It's just like you feel like if you want to change something in rugby, so like in terms of club rugby.
Yeah.
So much process, so much bureaucratic reasons. Depending on the party that's managing that town.
Yeah.
It could be easier, it could be harder. Depends on the funds and things. I think that's the main problem because, for example, my club has 700, 800 kids playing.
It's phenomenal.
But the problem, if we get to 900, we don't have anywhere to play.
No.
Because there's no pitch available to play or to train. So I think that's our ceiling that we're facing at the moment, clubs.
Yeah.
I think a lot of clubs have reached into the limits of kids.
Yeah.
And they can't expand it to get like higher quality or higher things.
Agreed. I think the same issue is going to be with the World Cup bid as well, because there isn't a dedicated rugby stadium.
Yeah.
It's all we're going to have to borrow everything off football.
Yeah, it's going to be expensive.
Of course it is, yeah, because it's literally either the tournament's going to have to be moved slightly, because obviously it's usually played September, which is in the middle of La Liga.
Yeah.
So you're not going to get the Bernabeu, you're not going to get Valladolid, you're not going to get all these other amazing stadiums. So either a massive investment's got to be made to build rugby stadiums, but then where's the land? Where's the existing infrastructure?
Is the supporters going to go there?
Exactly.
You don't want to play in a game where, there's 10,000 people watching.
Yeah.
But it feels empty because there's 40 people watching.
That's it.
40 people stand.
Well, it's like, obviously, I come to the Fiji game as well.
Yeah.
That was a great spectacle. Proper, well kitted out, and it would the fans come, but there were still pockets of emptiness. But that was probably one of the best attended rugby matches I've seen outside of the UK as well. And the appetite's there. But obviously, I live down here. It took 6-7 hours to get in Valladolid. It's a long distance, and then took 5 hours to Madrid. Like, it's to be able to cover a whole tournament across the whole of Spain is going to be difficult, especially when you sort of go sort of the other side, northwest, don't you go up towards
you
that top end.
You probably will get games in Bilbao, which will probably be 10 hours from here.
Yeah, and obviously, as we saw recently with Bilbao, when the football fans had their final there, the prices went through the roof. Yeah. We've got the Challenge Cup and the Champions Cup final there this season, the season coming. So that'll be a really interesting understanding there. But there's a real good vibe of rugby up in Bilbao as well. So it's a perfect place to go. But
I think it's the perfect place to go because you get all the hooligans from France, all the Basque hooligans from France, but you want to be rich. Yeah. It's not far away from all the a properly rugby nation like France. Yeah. So I think Catalonia and Bilbao could be like a good place where you can stack that 4 or 5 stadiums. Yeah. You can get like a good support because you will get all the French. Obviously, there's plenty of British. You give it like a chance for British people to come and have a sangria in Spain, so they were going to take it as well. Yeah. So I think that it won't be a problem to fill up the stadiums, but it will be a problem in terms of if it's a game in the autumn series. For me, 10,000, 12,000 stadium is perfect. Yeah. But if we go higher, it starts feeling a bit empty, and I think that is where Spain rugby loses money. Yeah. I think what Spain do really well though as well is the pre-party. Yeah. There's not. It's that I think that gets brought into a lot more over here as well. Like you've got the fan zone outside. There's more bits for the kids to do. I think that's they've done it the right way round. Whereas back in the UK and other parts, they try to add it in after they've already filled the stadiums, and then they most people are like, "Oh, it's all right. I'll go to the pub because it's cheaper to go to the pub than it is to drink in the grounds." Obviously, you mentioned your brother earlier as well. Yeah. He's obviously playing over in France as well. He ain't a bad player either, is he? So what was your parents feeding you as kids? They must. So he good at good genes. So he runs like 35 kilometers per hour. So skinny centre, 86 kilo centre. Yeah. So I'm a bit slower, so I have to get in the pick and goes in the mall. Yeah. So he got lucky over there.
He got the pace.
But he's doing very well. Yeah. So obviously one of my dreams is to play with my brother in Spain. Yeah. I think that would be one of like a tick. The tick, yeah. Of how proud we will make our family and how it will make me. Yeah. I'm seeing him. This is the first time we're training together. He's with the under-20s as well. Oh, he's here, is he? Yeah. Oh, wow. So it feels quite special. Like you finish your training and you see him walking around. Yeah. Like it's quite a proud moment for me to know that my brother's down there. And I'm still. Obviously, we've been living away for quite a long time. Yeah, yeah. And it feels good, like, to have any chance I can get in contact with him again, or get a bit closer. Thing for me, like, is a lot of relief in my head and makes me feel special.
How far is it at your new club to?
It's still 6 hours. So
Christ, yeah.
Toulouse from Madrid was 6 hours, and now I'm like on the other way.
Yeah.
So I will see him in Christmas.
At least you're in the same country this time. That's the change. So obviously he's obviously part of the Toulouse setup.
Yeah.
How did he manage to get that path? Obviously, you would have been part of Wasps and stuff.
Yeah.
Did he opt to go to England, or did he? Did he decide? Obviously, when it went wrong at Wasps, he thought, I'm going to go another way. Or?
Everything happened when. Because I was doing a quite good path at Wasps, my family said, look, I think England's a good thing you cover. England is you can be a professional rugby player and you have time to have a good education.
Yeah.
I think there's no other country in the world that can give you that facility.
Yeah.
Like, I've been at Loughborough with a higher education, training at professional level every time. And I think that's massive for England. So that was the main thing. What Hugo wanted to go to England.
Yeah.
But Brexit happened. So once the Brexit happened, all the doors closed, shuts down for foreigners. So obviously Joel Merkel, I played with him since I was a kid, a little kid. I was quite close with him when we were kids. And I text him like, look, I think my brother has the level to be at Toulouse. Yeah. Can you send me the details of someone that we can contact to send me the footage and everything when he was 16? Wow. And Joel Merkel, I like a godfather to him. So he spoke with one of the coaches, helped my brother to help the process, to give the contacts to him. And then my brother showed the footage. They like it. He previously got invited by Bordeaux to go there. He got picked, but for Hugo and me, since we were kids, our club was Toulouse. Yeah. So we decided to go to Toulouse to see what happens, and then he got picked. And then he won 3 French championships now. Not too bad, is it? And just signed a 3-year deal for Toulouse. Is Joel asking for a signing-on fee for scouting him up for trying to become an agent? I think he got like a burger at Brasserie. Perfect. As a prop, that's a perfect deal. We're now entering the next phase round for the next Rugby Europe Championships. You've got the autumn internationals as well. You said you got Tonga and Fiji, potentially England Day, whatever happens there. What's the target for the Rugby Europe next year round? Personally? Yeah. I want to win. Yeah. First, I would love to play, to win Georgia over there and then play the semi-finals at home. Yeah. Because we haven't played semi-finals in the past 4 years. Yeah. And I would love that, but I reckon it will be harder at the first game. But I think every time it happens with Spain during the reg, we start very slow. Yeah. We build, and then we reach the semi-final, we clutch. Yeah. And then in the final, we give a good fight. And I think this year, the Spanish level is going to grow a lot, and I think it will give like a higher context to Georgia. And my dream is be able to win Georgia. That will be massive, because I had enough of seeing them winning every year for the past, I don't know how long. Yeah, it's pretty boring 8 years on the rack. And obviously the way the draw fell this year, it kind of also did away with the drama of the qualification as well. So like the top 4 was a banker. Yeah. Obviously, I always wanted to see Spain qualified, but it could have happened in a different way. So, like, the Rugby Europe Championship, I think, missed a little bit of excitement and drama there. I think when we won Switzerland, we got qualified, but we played a shit game. Yeah. And everyone was like depressed after that, and we just got qualified for the World Cup. Yeah. I've been working for since my injury. Everything I was done possible was to get qualified for the World Cup. And then we beat Switzerland, and I just felt like... What happened at that game as well? Because it was lacklustre. It wasn't... Because obviously I was there for the... Disconnected from really? Because obviously there was quite a few rotations as well from the week before against the Netherlands. That seemed to be on point. The line-out maul was bob on. Everything was right. And then Switzerland, let them into the game a little bit. It's just for us, like, with no respect to Switzerland. No. We thought we were much better than Switzerland. As soon as we did something right, we were going to win. Yeah. But I think this time last year, we sat down to prepare Samoa and Tonga. Yeah. And we started the countdown. Right. So every meeting, how many days left for Netherlands? 100 days.
Oh, okay.
You sit down in November, how many days for the World Cup? 60 days. So everyone at home had their calendar like tick. It's 5 days left, 3 days left. So it was everything we work on was against Netherlands.
Right.
Netherlands for like 7 months, everything was Netherlands. So as soon we beat Netherlands, it was like a relief.
But then the calendar didn't start again.
Exactly. So it was I think that we disconnected a lot. I thought our job was done. And then we just got bollocked because I think we played a worse game. And then we got kicked in the butt by Georgia. And after that, Portugal, we were on point, and Georgia, I think we were on point for a good 50 minutes. And then after that, it's just we scramble more that loses the final.
You didn't play the Georgia game in Madrid, obviously off the back of, like, we sort of caught up briefly beforehand. Were you not selected because of what you felt was your performance? You said you didn't feel...
So obviously it was like it's hard because for me, everything I want to do is Spain, but at the same time, you have to leave your ego on the side.
It's a bigger picture, isn't it?
Yeah. So for me, the chat that I had with Paolo was that I wasn't like the aggressive player that I was in the 2024.
Yeah.
And I didn't convince that my shoulder was on point to play against Georgia. Yeah. And that I need more game time. Yeah. So I asked him, my club was playing that weekend. I said, like, look, you're not going to be selected. And I said, like, fine. Do you say that I'm missing game time? Yeah. Do you mind if I go to play my club, get more game time, play a decent game? And then for the next 2 weeks, I just focused on, I just wanted to set the starting 7 against Portugal. So I did like a very good week of training and then got selected.
What an atmosphere that was at the Stadio Nacional. Yeah. And to get that monkey off your back a little bit as well, of going to Portugal and finally getting the job done.
We lost 2 semi-finals in a row.
Exactly. How much do you think that then, do you think, going back to what we discussed a minute ago about the Netherlands bit, do you think getting that monkey off your back also spent too much effort on that semi-final become your final, and then the second half of Georgia you'd kind of run out the tank?
No, I think Georgia it's another level. It's another level. They got another gear. It's like we being honest, we're not on the same level.
Well, that first half, it was level, wasn't it?
We were.
And Bon Tempo just kept you guys. How the fuck does he kick that ball that far?
Yeah, I played with him since I'm 12 years old. Yeah, Covendas as well.
Did he kick it like that far as a kid?
It's a joke.
Really?
It's a joke. Like, we were 14.
Has anyone tested him? Is he like? How the fuck does he kick it that far?
It's just since he's a little kid, he has like these massive legs. Like, he looks like a good prop. Yeah. And
maybe that's his retirement plan.
Like he's like the one of the top blokes on camp. Yeah. And for me, he's one of my best friends. I played with him since I'm 12 years old in Alcobendas.
So when you played with him when he was 12, did you know that he was of that level? He could make it.
For me, I think he can make it even more. He was so dominant. I've never seen a player that dominant. He was our fly half. Obviously, when you're 13 to 14s, like, he was so dominant. He wasn't even. I was his outside centre. I've never touched the ball, so
didn't need to.
Exactly. He would just carry on.
Wow.
He just had like he loved bully people on the pitch. Yeah. He like pushes people, and then he loves his boot, so he uses a lot. So he was a hell of a player on the underage.
That is a bit of a cheat code at the minute, though. That kicking ability. Does Pablo sort of say, right, we've got to capitalise that and just keep the board ticking? Is that kind of most of the game plan at times?
It depends. It could be. But just taking our chances properly. Yeah. Being smart. The good thing is we can penalise teams like 60 metres. Yeah.
There's not many out there that can do that.
Exactly. So that's a massive gun for us. Like, if we have a penalty in the 56 metres, we're gonna think about going to the points. So from nothing, we can create 3 points.
Probably the other team are thinking that as well. They're probably just, do I actually have a dabble at that breakdown? Do I not? Do I run that risk?
But we just put in that pressure to them now, so that could leave us playing more freely on the outside. So I think it's a massive gun for us.
So obviously, where's he currently playing? Is he
in Massy, 3rd division as well.
Oh, over in France as well. Because I've been watching the Pro D2. Some of the kicking over there is just unreal. Like, obviously, Bosfiel for Montauban the other day scored a drop goal from halfway line. just like, what is going on here? Like,
and I've seen the 10 from Grenoble doing a couple of good cases this season.
It was just different gravy in France, and like they were talking about how good those players are naturally at kicking, and obviously he seems to have probably settled in over there.
Yeah.
What is the long-term plan then? Is it hopefully to try and get your shirt in at Toulouse to play with your brother, and then both of you come across? Or
it's been realistic. Like for me, I know top 14 is far away, and my dream, I think, top probably do will be my
target.
And I went on trials last week to Vans. And I would like to go to Vans but at the end of the day, any club, because any club that can offer me that possibility, I will jump on the boat.
Back to England at all? No interest.
It's not interest. It's just I feel economically I can't live from rugby over there.
Yeah.
And I think championship is not a professional level. You won't feel yourself like you've been professional.
No.
So I think it's the way that people say it's like a farmers league. You go, you train in the week and you go get your head smashed by massive blokes.
For peanuts.
And he's just like, I feel it kills a bit the fun of rugby. Like all this, when I was younger. I don't know if I'm old, I would enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But when I was younger, it killed because you play against 30, 40 old men that just want to bully you, punch you in the face. And there's no rugby, it's just straight running.
Yeah.
Straight running, no skills. And it's just like kills a bit the mood.
Any ambition to go further afield, like anywhere else, or are you just happy?
No, so I go. Obviously, Pablo was coach of Peñarol, and we got the physio as well. He's been working with Pablo all this time. Yeah. I don't know if I could get a contract in France because I'll have a lot of Spanish commitment during the World Cup. Yeah. But I would love to try Japan or Super American rugby. So
I've been covering the Super America rugby as well recently, and Peñarol, and obviously Dogos had the recent final and stuff. It's good level of rugby down there.
Yeah, and I would like to take that step. I think it would be like, the good thing in rugby, you can use it to travel the world and meet new cultures. And for me, that will be like a good opportunity after the World Cup. Get like a 6 months of try new things to get back on a refreshing mindset.
Well, Ardi Surveyor's just re-signed for
Moana Pacific.
No, he's just re-signed for the Sunwolves, I believe, today. It's been he's going back to Japan for a season, so he's having. So when he goes back to Moana, there might be an option for you to take over his shirt over in Japan. So with Wasps as well, who was the when you were there? That must have been sort of at the end of their golden era.
Yeah,
correct. So who was the best player you got the opportunity to sort of play and train around?
Jacob Umaga, I think he was on another level. Yeah. Jacob Umaga, I've never seen a player manipulate the defense like he does. Like any hints you give him, he will pick on it. And I was amazed. Like training against him, I was amazed. Yeah. But for me, the player that I most liked to play in terms of global was Brett Shill. I think that he's been like my
sort of idol.
Yeah, people I want to follow his footsteps. How he's as a person. Yeah. Very polite, very respect. He gives. He's kind to everyone. I think I got treated very well by him at Wasps. And then the way he works, I would say him. He's one of the most skillful players. No. But he has an engine. He runs everywhere. He sprints. He's the first one on the line to chase a kick. Mm-hmm. He always makes tackles. Always there to give Messi on the rock. Yeah. And I see myself like a Brad Shills type of player in terms of number 6 and jumping line out option. Yeah. And for me, he was one of the players I wanted to follow on from. Yeah.
He was one of the players that you sort of grew up with or played with, and then didn't quite make it, but you thought they could be at the top.
Alfie Barbary.
Really?
I think I've never seen a player that dominant in my life. When he was our hooker in the A-Cat. He would chip and chase, little kicker from the receipt. I've seen kicker from the receipt, kick it over the second row, catch it, fake offload. Then he will, if 5 meters out of the try line, he will pick and go and score. I've never seen a player that dominant. And I think he's been very unlucky with injuries. Yeah. And I thought I was going to see him early. I was going to see him quite a long time ago with the English shirt.
Not done too bad though, picking up the treble with half at the minute though, is he? Mario, I think we'll probably put that on an end. thanks to the little discotheque that's about to join us. But I really appreciate your time, mate.
No, thank you very much for coming.
Hopefully, obviously, we can catch up again at the next Rugby Europe Championships, and we can carry on promoting the game in Spain as well, because I think it's a big passion for the pair of us. Yeah, really appreciate it, mate.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, mate.